COVID-19 affects old people much more than young people. It affects people who have comorbidities. It affects people who have hypertension and diabetes. It affects people who are obese. And so if we don't find a vaccine, our most vulnerable people in South Africa will have adverse events from COVID-19 and may even die. And so it's our job to find a COVID vaccine for South Africa so that we can control the epidemic here.
The beauty of a vaccine is it teaches our immune system how to make COVID-19 antibodies before we get the infection. And the way that they do that is they contain something that looks like the spike protein, but is not a virus. Your body thinks it's being infected by something, and the immune system produces antibodies against that spike protein. So your body then has antibodies within it, and when you get infected by COVID-19, those antibodies can block the spike protein before the virus can enter your cells. That's the principle about how all vaccines work. There are currently 7 COVID-19 vaccines that all work in slightly different ways, but using the same principles.
What a vaccine does is it primes the immune system ahead of time. So you let it see if you like, almost a pretend version of the pathogen, a sample of the pathogen, so that the immune system can get its machinery going and get primed, so that if it sees the pathogen through infection, that immune system is ready to roll immediately.
Ik werk op het Texas, ik rijd taxi hier, Johannes Mainsis. Ja, en dat is allemaal wat ik wil kan zeggen. Maar oké, zoals ik jullie kan zeggen van die wetgeving van die COVID-besigheid. De COVID is een speelding. Ik heb COVID gehad, maar ik heb oorgekomen. Nou, ik zal lijkt zo mee een nieuwe vaccin te krijgen, want hulle allemaal praat van wat ik het nog niet gekregen heb. Zoals hier op het Texas, zoals hulle weet, onze week is een beetje in danger, want allemaal die mensen klimmen die taxi zonder masker en goed, hulle sanitizer wel hulle nie. Maar nou ook wat week op het Texas, onze saliva is een groot gevaar met die COVID-besigheid.
If they give people the vaccine, it will help so much because people are getting sick because of COVID. So I think the vaccine is very good.
Ndicinga be safe kuba ke ndithemba le company kuyayenza.
Forba ndingeka andikava zinto ngayo i-side effects ezimbi. So I think it's right.
The illness that you would get with not taking it, I think would be far more severe. Even if there were some complications that some people had with the vaccine.
Ultimately, we're going to need a vaccine or herd immunity to get ourselves out of the pickle. And that's the point where we are at the moment, where we're saying, okay, we do have a vaccine now. We need to get it rolled out so we can get herd immunity and then hopefully find our way out of the pandemic.
Herd immunity or population immunity is sometimes a better term to use, is when enough people in the population, for example, South Africa, are immune or resistant to COVID-19. So you can become resistant or immune to COVID-19 by being infected before, so that you have produced antibodies, or you can become immune or resistant to COVID-19 through being vaccinated.
We will receive vaccine doses for around 10% of our population through the COVAX facility. It is estimated that Africa as a whole will need 1.5 billion doses to immunize the target of 60% of the population of our continent.
Ndizayithatha vaccine ayikhona because izandikhusela. I believe bayizandikhusela.
I'm not afraid of taking the vaccine, but it must be a correct one and it must be tested thoroughly.
I would rather take that a chance, and because it was like 1 in a million that got a bit ill from taking the vaccine. So I would take the vaccine definitely.
Yazi bafuna ndithini uzindivaccinate, but ndiyayirhalela because ndiqhuba iteksi, ndibana nabantu abaninzi every day. Okwesibini lasho namane asele endarheni, ngoku ndenza ndizifile ndi-unsafe engafakanga vaccine.
I'll be taking it because I was also sick because of COVID. So I think I'll take it to prevent so that it will not affect me again.